Hello, and thank you for taking the time to review this quick tutorial of the second quarter 2021 cannabis excise tax return. My name is Jamie Lewis, and I represent the City of Adelanto's Cannabis Compliance Department. The purpose of this special return is to ensure that those operators who were paying a 1% tax rate prior to the tax rate change in November of 2020 will be allowed to account for the 1% tax rate for this new quarterly return period. This means that for October, the 1% will be calculated, and for November and December, the 3% tax rate will be calculated. I want to draw your attention to a change that's included on all of the new tax return forms. One of them is this tax payment due date. This will help you in filling out some of the information needed on the tax return, and we'll go into that in just a second. So the first box on all of our tax returns is the business information. Please make sure that you include the business name as it's shown on the approved permit, also the business license number as it appears on the business license. If you have any trouble accessing this information, please feel free to contact the City Planning and Development Department or the Cannabis Compliance Department, and we can assist you with finding this number. Also, the address. The address should match what is on your approved permit, which means that this should be a City of Adelanto address. Lastly, the tax period. You can utilize this chart above to fill out the tax period. This is for second quarter 2021. Again, this is a special return, so it'll have a box 1A and a box 1B. Moving forward for all of the quarterly tax returns at the new rate, there will only be one box 1. For box 1A, line 1 is the gross receipts for October 2020 only. So I'm going to use a fictitious business. I'm looking at their P&Ls, and we show a $100,000 gross receipt for October 2020 only. Line 2 represents the gross receipt adjustments. This will typically be 0 unless the finance department has approved you to report an adjustment here. Please make sure that if you plan to report a line 2 or line 5, that you've gotten it approved with the finance department prior to reporting it on your return. This will help you avoid having your return sent back to you for revision and potentially having a late penalty and interest assessed. Line 3, this is where the gross receipts is calculated. So it's going to be $100,000 because there are no adjustments being reported. In line 4, this is where the tax is calculated. So again, this is 1% of $100,000, which is $1,000. I have not been instructed to report any credits. The time that you would report a credit is, let's say the finance department contacts you and says you overpaid in a previous year, quarter, or month. They will tell you what to report on line 5. Additionally, backup documentation must be submitted anytime there is a line 2 or a line 5 on any of these tax returns. Lastly, line 6 is where you total the tax due. So because I don't have any credits to report, the total tax due for October is $1,000. Now, just like we've done in box 1A, box 1B will be exactly the same, except for it's going to account for November and December 2020 only. So again, using my fictitious business, the operator is reporting $200,000 in gross receipts for these 2 months. I have no adjustments. Therefore, my taxable gross receipts is $200,000. The tax on that is at the 3%. So that represents $6,000 in tax. I've not been instructed to include a line 11 or a line 5, so no credits to report, therefore it's 0. And the tax due for November and December is $6,000. Line 13, you'll utilize to add your November, December, and your October at the lower tax rate. Therefore, the tax due for this fictional business is $7,000. As long as this return is filed before January 31st, There will be no late payments and no penalty assessed. So I've gone ahead and filled out 0 here. The last item I want to draw your attention to is the signature authorization section. This is at the bottom of every return, every excise tax return for the city of Adelanto. You'll want to print the name of the individual filling out this return. I'll go ahead and put my name. My title, oftentimes this will be the CPA, the attorney, the business owner, or a compliance rep. Be sure to also include the date that this return is being filled out. So let's say I'm filling it out today, which is January 14th, 2021. And then I'm going to get the authorized individual to sign this. This is someone who's listed on the permit, so likely it'll be the business owner. I'll sign here and then put my contact phone number in case the finance department has any questions regarding what's been submitted on this tax return. It's always extremely helpful if you submit your P&L statement along with these tax returns for this period. What that does is expedite potential audits. As you know, each operator undergoes an annual audit. So having access to the P&L statements prior to your annual audit really cuts down on the time. So please feel free to submit your backup documentation with these returns on a quarterly basis. That way, when it's time for the audit, we can move through things rather quickly. Again, my name is Jamie Lewis. I'm with the Cannabis Compliance Department with the City of Adelanto. My direct line is 760-780-7189, and I can be reached at any time. Again, thank you for taking the time to review this second quarter 2021 special tax return, and we wish you a very, very prosperous year. Thank you.